Welcome back to the channel, guys. Let's get straight into today's story. So, Keir Starmer has been presented by Labour as a Prime Minister who's going nowhere. According to senior figures inside the party, including the Labour chair, Starmer will absolutely still be in Downing Street by next Christmas. We're told people will soon feel the change in their pockets, that things are turning a corner and that the public just needs more time to understand Labour's vision. But here's the problem. The confident message coming out of Labour HQ is crashing headfirst into a very difficult reality outside Westminster. Because when you step away from the spin and look at the mood of the country, it doesn't match the optimism Labour wants you to believe. Poll after poll shows trust in politics at rock bottom. Starmer's personal ratings remain weak. Many voters have backed Labour to steady the ship are already questioning what exactly they've got in return. And for a Prime Minister who's built his brand on competence and seriousness, that should be deeply worrying. Labour's argument is simple. They say governing is hard, change takes time, and the public must be patient. But patience is not infinite, especially when household bills remain high, public services are strained, and businesses feel under pressure. Telling people they'll feel better off soon starts to sound hollow when wages lag behind costs and tax keeps rising. For many families, the promised improvement feels theoretical rather than real. This is where Starmer's leadership style comes into focus. He governs cautiously, avoids bold language and relies heavily on managerial tone. That might calm markets, but it doesn't inspire confidence or loyalty. People don't rally around spreadsheets, they rally around conviction, clarity and leadership that feels connected to everyday life. Right now, Starmer often comes across as distanced, technocratic and insulted by advisors and focus groups. And then there's the political contradiction Labour can't escape. On one hand, they claim stability and control. On the other, they're constantly firefighting backlash, from small businesses angry about rates, from voters frustrated by migration chaos, from communities feeling ignored. If things were generally improving, Labour wouldn't need to keep telling us they are, the message would speak for itself. What makes this even more fragile is that Starmer doesn't have a deep well of personal loyalty to fall back on. He's not a moment politician. He doesn't command instinctive support from the public or even from large sections of his own party. Much of Labour's coalition voted against chaos rather than for Starmer himself. That's a dangerous foundation to govern from because once the fear fades, scrutiny intensifies. Labour's insiders insisting Starmer will still be Prime Minister next Christmas sounds less like confidence and more like reassurance aimed inward. It feels like a party taking itself into believing its own story. And history tells us that governments most at risk are often the ones convinced they've already won the argument. Now, meanwhile, opposition voices are sharpening. Reform continues to tap into voter anger. Conservatives are regrouping. And outside the political bubble, there's a growing sense that Britain is drifting rather than advancing. In that environment, being less bad than before is not enough to guarantee survival, let alone popularity. The real danger for Starmer is complacency. Assuming that time alone will fix perception is a classic political mistake. Trust isn't restored by waiting, it's earned through visible results. And right now, too many people feel the gap between Labour's promises and their lived experience is widening, not shrinking. So will Starmer still be Prime Minister next Christmas? Maybe. The arithmetic might allow it, but political survival isn't the same as political success. A government can limp on while losing authority, credibility and public goodwill. And if Labour continues to talk up progress that voters can't feel, that gap will only grow. Now, this story isn't really about next Christmas. It's about whether Starmer understands that governing isn't just about lasting. It's about leading. And unless Labour bridges the divide between its confident messaging and the public's growing scepticism, staying in power could become far harder than they currently admit. Thanks for watching, guys. If you want more honest political commentary and don't want to miss what's really happening behind the headlines, hit that subscribe button and drop your thoughts in the comments below.